Alright, welcome back to Let's Play Persona 3. We are going to go up to the next level for what the boss is, and let's just check which party members we're going to be. Well, for the boss, we want to use basically the same group we used on the Noble Seekers. But we're going to want to use Aigis because, well, she is going to be not required, but very useful for a boss later. And Yukari's, higher level. Not that everybody else is 60 except her. She's 61, and Aigis is 57. So we're probably going to need to come back down and get Yukari if we can't deal with the boss with just her at that level. Or we'll just come back down and get her anyway. So that we can, make her higher level. Because, well, we're going to end up grinding up pretty high anyway. Well, not on screen, of course, but, like, in general, to get some of the other stuff later. Now, we are going up here with these new enemies. Oh, find the stairs and a treasure really quick. It's nice. And I'll be showing off the new ones I find. I'm going to avoid groups of smaller enemies to prevent what happened last time from happening, because there are 3 more bosses left.
There are 2 of them. Attack!
Okay, here we have a new enemy, Silver Dice.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
Let's just go ahead and use a physical attack. Couldn't hurt anything. Didn't work.
I need your help! Strike attacks. Okay. It has multiple weaknesses.
Ah. So I should have used my Mudo skills. Yeah, I want to get Chernobog up because he's going to create an item.
Man's best friend indeed.
And, stupid, I guess. And he needs a lot of experience. Ooh. Something useless leveling up. That's not useless. I don't remember what Sukukaja does, but I don't really see the point of a single target full heal at this point, so anything that's going to be hitting us is probably going to hit
aptitude has increased.
Everybody, or people will be using physical attacks.
Strike first.
Okay, here are some royal dancers.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
They are called the same thing as one of the bosses before, I think. Yeah. That's pretty weird. Alright, let's go ahead and try out a slash move. They reflect it, whatever. Nope.
I need your help. It must be eliminated.
Hopefully it comes around to me before it kills them all.
It doesn't seem like darkness will work.
Oh, it just doesn't have any weaknesses.
Redcomb defeated an enemy.
Let's use a Blade of Fury on this one. No. I guess I'll take it out. There we go.
No
It's all my HP. Very simple enemies for this point in the game. Ooh. Easy one to follow, too. Hey, that's a lot of experience. That's nice. And it's good that Chernobog got that. Alright. Now, to be honest, Medirahan is kind of a waste most of the time. I hate to say that, but the only reason I even care about it being around is because some of the bosses will hit you to like almost no hit points, and there's nothing else you can do but do that. But if you have the healing item, the thing that makes your heals better, or the skill Divine Grace that does the same, Metarahan is basically the same thing. Come on, buddy. Guess he can't come around the corner. Whatever.
There are 2 strong enemies. Attack!
Okay, so this is an interesting group in that I remember this giving me a lot of trouble. This one is weak to light and practically nothing else, and this thing's weak to fire, as the Maguses tend to be.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
And it blocks most physical attacks. And they're really high level. So, I guess this will deal some damage to it. Not much. Normally I would avoid mixed groups like this, but there's not really anything I can do otherwise. It'll actually reflect this, but it can't hurt him anyway, so it's fine.
It seems Hama skills work well on this one.
It'd be really nice if he killed it. This.
One enemy
Good.
to go. You're on a roll. Please help me.
And as you can see, we're not doing shit as far as damage goes. I'm actually going to use an Agidyne thing on here. Just because I remember these guys give me a lot of experience. I missed it, didn't I? No. Agilao gem.
The enemy is down. Now's your chance. Let us strike while the irons. I can't miss.
Nope, didn't. I'm gonna kill it.
Watch this.
Ooh, this is bad.
Please help me. Firing. Enemy is still alive.
Okay. We're good. These things can confuse as far as I remember too. I remember these enemies pretty well for some reason. Unfortunately, because somebody else did it, we are less likely to get a shuffle. But we did get one. Cool. And it's got an experience in it. Check out the experience on that. That's probably why I remember these enemies so much. Shitloads of experience. Just ice. Sure. No wind. That's better, actually. So, I'm fine with that.
My level of aptitude has increased.
So those enemies are actually a bit of a crapshoot, considering, well, now that we've scanned them, they're not, but before they were. And we're level 68 now. One thing to note about those enemies, I just fought the same group again, is that
Yes, yes, yes. My skill level has increased.
they are level 88. That is well beyond where we should be at this point. Well beyond where we are. But you can take out enemies significantly higher than yourself. I think they're just supposed to be the red enemies, but they're not. I don't know what the deal is. It's a good chunk of money. That'll help out. Stairs already. I don't care about those things. Get out of my way. Small floor. Really, though, it's all about not fucking up and getting the first strike and all that stuff. Really important. That's why I've been using this bow the whole time, to make sure. I didn't actually think I would be using powered dog suit. Is that any better? Notice that thing he's got in his mouth. I did not give that to him. Sometimes they replace things themselves. They're always stronger, so, or almost always stronger. Sometimes that's subjective. Distress is not that good. 30 HP. Off a little strength. He's not very strong physically anyway. Where's that? That's fine. Let's see if we got any more stuff for people. I think maybe we picked up a gun for her. Oh wow, that's incredibly good. The rest of that's fine. Honestly, her item that she has equipped is mostly because I don't really think these are just the best things for him. Things I would be okay with losing. This is really good for him, but I don't think I want to give that to him. At least not at this point. You can keep the Jumanji Spear. Narcissus Flower. Whatever. Him not being able to do charms is okay.
There are 3 of them. Strike first.
We have a new enemy, a light balance. These can come from groups of 1 to 4 as far as I've seen.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
Now, balances are predictable enemies. It's called the light balance. And the fact that it's called the light balance means predictably that it will block light, but it will also block dark because the whole balance thing. It's an enemy that actually makes sense. It is weak, I think, to either electricity or wind. I don't remember. But let's just use a physical attack on it. That wasn't too great.
I need your help. The enemy's weakness is electricity.
Yeah, and see, these enemies are relatively normal in level. I don't know why the other ones are so much higher. By all rights, they should be red enemies. And they just happen to have the bad luck of, or we have the bad luck of them resisting slashing. So because of that, let's just go ahead and use one of these Mazio gems.
Keep it up. Let us strike while the iron's hot.
Gotta use them eventually anyway. I'm gonna get as much experience for Chernobog as we can. The groups of 4 are actually pretty good experience. That's pretty good. Obviously, if you want to, you can just try to fight those other monsters. Just to get a boatload of experience. Now, because the normal enemies are not really too far out of our range, we can tell that we're at a pretty good point here. Let's roll 31, 231. There. There's a set of thingies here to take advantage of. Go.
My level of aptitude has increased.
Even when you don't get a shuffle on those were the hard enemies, if you couldn't guess. It's still pretty damn good experience, like 3,000. So if I had a choice, I would just fight those. The best party is actually pretty close to this one, just with Junpei instead of, I guess. Now, you could use Junpei for the next boss fight since we have that fire sword. I mean, the reason you don't use him is because it resists fire attacks. Also because, well, he doesn't have any resistance to the instant death attacks. But he becomes much more versatile with that sword as an option. Okay, Ken. Good job. I don't know why he's so far out of the way. He's detecting us pretty far away.
them. Strike first.
This is a pretty annoying group. A light balance, a doom sword, infinite sand.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
Okay. Scan up, see what we can get.
It must be the enemy's weak against ice.
Ice, huh? Okay.
Watch this. Another!
He's gonna take that out. It's pretty good.
2 enemies to go.
The shame is I don't know how dangerous that sword is. Okay, what do I have for ice? Probably... yeah. And it has no weaknesses, so that's okay.
2 enemies left.
Let's go ahead and take this out.
Enemy defeated.
That was pretty strong.
Again.
Let's go ahead and physical attack. I don't like how they try to use... well, it worked.
We can't afford to lose.
Those are pretty standard enemies. But something leveled up. Hey, Jatayu! Sure. Storm Ring. Unfortunately, that means we have to... do I want to bother to get any more of those? I don't think there's any reason to. Maybe I should. It's not really a problem. Let's go ahead and do that. But we'll wait. No, we should do it now. Okay, I'm gonna meet you back here. When, what before is this? 231. Meet you back on 231 when, we have a new one. Okay, I figured out a good way to get rid of Jatayu and get something else good. Pulled a Kaiwan out for like 40,000 bucks, 400,000 bucks, and you can get a Melchizedek out of this. The highest level Justice. It can create an item, so I'm going to be trying to get, well, an item creator dude with some good good skills. This is actually really good, just right off the bat. Growth 3 would be better, but I'm not going to argue with Growth 2 either, because he's going to get a lot of experience. So I'm going to try to make a good one, and I will be back. Oh, good. First try. So, sorry I was quiet there. I thought I would have to cut a whole bunch of reloads and trying it together. I need some kind of purple Rocketeer Power Ranger guy with metal wings. Some kind of Cyber Angel. Akasha Art's skill he gets is pretty damn good. Basically, it's a heavy strike. As you can see, he's got the Fistmaster skill, which is pretty good. Evade Pierce. I think this is just plain better than this. Go ahead and... okay, so he'll get Repel Dark eventually. Okay. So I registered everything else, so Chernobog should get his item pretty soon. The Storm Ring, by the way, will block wind. You'd think that would be a lightning thing, but whatevs. Let's go ahead and pull out that Jatayu again. You can also just make mix a Jatayu in a... I think that's a sun. It's got growth 3. It's probably a sun. Eesh. You can mix the Jatayu and a Garuda to make the same thing. I didn't realize how far he had gotten with that experience. But, you know, he's going to gain a lot because we're pretty behind in levels as far as... For him, he's pretty behind in levels. So I will meet you back up on the floor we were before. Okay, we're back up to 351, and I brought Yukari along with me because I guess hit level 60. Okay, apparently the scales can come in groups of 5. He's getting pretty close to the point where I kind of want to go back and register him just in case. Actually, 8,000 is pretty good. I'm not going to worry about it. If he makes a really good item, it'll be fine. Although if we get it to like 200, it'll be, you know. Mixed enemy groups. They're bad.
Yes! My skill level has increased!
How far behind are these guys? Maybe they're actually ahead now. And they're about equal now. So they're slightly ahead. That's okay. We'll be using her far more often than them. She's at the point where she basically needs to be in any of the more difficult boss fights, or even some of the simpler boss fights, simply because she's the best healer. Yeah, no. I'll at least wait until we get up to the top. I can just avoid fighting enemies. That's fine. Or just switch them out. As the case might be. There's the treasure there, so I want to get that.
Yes, yes, yes! My skill level has increased!
A bead? Not like we don't have 1,000 of those. 15 beads. Whatever. Now, one of the things you can use as an indication, I said this much earlier in the game, but I don't think I've really reiterated it since then, that if you are grinding to fight a boss, one of the clear indications you can get that you are high enough levels when the enemies start running away from you. Let's not risk it, let's just go up. There's not any new enemies, as far as I can tell. Unless I forgot some. I run away from the smaller groups of enemies. That's a convenient floor. Let's just check real quick for treasure. Treasure. Ooh, treasure. Why not?
A surprise attack! There's only one! Great battle!
If I can get that close to it without it triggering, I feel like it deserves to die. Alright, let's just keep going. $236, so we're not very far. Ooh, treasure. Wow, that was a lot of money. Not quite making up for my expenditure yet, but quite a bit of cash. It's another gold enemy. Seem hard to trigger. Whatever. Okay, let's avoid you if we can. Which we can. Not always a good idea. Trying to do stuff like that. But hey. Just gotta go for the gusto sometimes. No enemies in here. And another good chunk of change. Treasures over here. No. Okay. Let's just keep going. And one more floor. If they gave decent experience, one of the good things to get would be the sands and just use Scat Hatch on them. Because she has Dine. Oh! I was about to see if I wanted to attract it on purpose, but I guess I didn't get the chance. You know, it occurs to me that I have never seen those really strong enemies in a group other than the group they came in. A lot of gold enemies. I guess that'd be pretty common because there's a request.
There's one enemy. Attack!
Ooh, okay.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
Got a new enemy here. These are usually fire and physical. Normally I would just avoid this, but I don't think I, in good conscience, can at the moment. This guy's really good at physical. It's got no instant death attacks, which makes him unusual for a Justice. Well, this guy's weaknesses are covered up, but he's weak to piercing. His elemental weaknesses, I should say. I just don't really like my options here. He's probably not weak to fire. He's unlikely to have wind attacks. I'll go check this. Mind Charge Ragnarok, if he was weak to that, would deal approximately 1 billion damage. No, he's not weak to it, but did quite a lot of damage. These are some of those enemies that sometimes don't have weaknesses, and they're annoying as shit.
Please help me! The enemy's weak against darkness.
Darkness, huh?
I won't lose! Defeated!
That makes this much easier.
Only one enemy left!
Alright, do I have any personas that aren't Chernobog with instant death attacks? Probably not. Unfortunately. What is our turn order like here? He goes next, so I have to kill it. What kind of stuff does it do? Oh, it's got myriad arrows. Last resort, Bufudine. Just Bufudine. So the worst thing it could do is myriad arrows. Does it block piercing?
Use Mudo skills. It's weak.
It's strong against it. It's just throw out an attack mirror. These aren't going to be useful anyway. I run away from these enemies so often that I feel bad about doing that. Didn't occur to me to try that. He's not immune to it. That means it probably hit. and they're not worth the experience. Which is one of the main reasons I avoid them. And Garuda leveled up too, hey. Gonna get a bunch of over-leveled dudes who can't learn any skills. Whatevs. What? Should've got 10 times that amount. Stupid treasure boxes. Yep. Okay, at the very least, I'm going to go down and save it. At worst, I'm going to go down and grind. Which obviously I will do off screen. I also want to get 2 more of those wind jobbies. And I'll be back up when I'm ready to go. And I'll come back if I do any interesting fusions or anything like that while I'm doing it. Or I get anything interesting. Okay, so we've got Chernobog leveled up. Let's see what he makes. Invigorate 2. Excellent skill. Let's get rid of Blade of Fury. It's not really that useful. Yes. We get the Black God's Rock. Well, let's see what that does. And a dog leveled up. And there's the Storm Ring. Nullifies wind damage. Nullifies slash damage. It's actually really good. Black God, the Chernobog things. The Black God in Slavic mythology. It's actually pretty good against a boss coming up, but that's not going to be something that is necessarily something we need to worry about. It's a very good item. And because I'm going to be going back down to get other stuff, I might as well get 3 of them. So along with getting this guy up, he's pretty close to making his item again. I will do that, since Chernobog is like literally 1 battle away from making it as of that save. So I will be back when that's done, and we'll keep going up. Okay, before we get started, I should explain what I'm doing here. I've gotten all 3 of the items from both Chernobog and Jatayu. I just have them with me. I actually made this guy, who creates another item. And he's really good with spears and junk. Weary Thrust is a skill that's interesting because it does better when you are tired. I don't see how that would be useful, but it gives a bonus. Just like the Great bonus from one of the other physical attacks that I had before. Now I'm going to be using Melchizedek here, mostly for the instant death immunity, because this boss is not super tough. It's kind of luck based, in that he can do a strong physical attack that nobody, or not physical, but a Megadolon attack that everybody, basically, 2 of my party members will die instantly when he does it. I've covered Yukari's weaknesses and put at least 1 thing that resists or makes them immune to 1 type of magic. And obviously the 2 guys are the dog and Ken are weak or immune to 1 of the instant death attacks. So this guy gets Repel Dark at 65, which is why I got him up to 65. He's also got Fistmaster, which gave me an idea. Right now, I have equipped on me the Omega Drive, and I stole Akihiko's Dragon Fangs. So I thought, well, even if this guy's resistant to these physical attacks, I can still deal some decent damage because he's got Fistmaster. I'm mostly going to be a healer in this fight, and really I can do a risky kind of crit-based strategy. So we're going to try that out.
This This shadow is a formidable foe. Its arcana is justice.
Oh, and as you can see, I've got Ken equipped that with a new spear. That is the Gungnir. I decided for this fight, you know, since he's going to be using all his magic, it'll be fine.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
So this is the world balance. It basically resists all physical attacks, and if you use a magic mirror on it, it'll use Megadolon every single round, and you will die forever. So, I'm basically banking on the fact that maybe I'll get a crit or two, and everybody else will do stuff. Oh, I want to put the dog on to full assault, because he doesn't have the ability to heal while these two do. So let's go ahead and try it. Decent damage, could be worse.
I'll show you my
We got a fairly favorable turn order.
defeat it.
Okay, that's not gonna kill anybody. Now, he'll only start spamming magic or instant death attacks once he's hurt a certain amount. All right. Should I do it? Let's set Yukari on healing this round,
Leave it to me.
and then go ahead and try it. No.
I won't lose.
Oh, that was terrible. But she did cover the one weakness we had there.
Goro-chan! That wasn't good.
No, it wasn't. Okay, again, I think that's fine. We sort of want to pace ourselves a little bit so that we can get, if we get a crit, we get it later in the fight. That's better for us.
Yukari-chan! That wasn't good.
So in light of that, I'm just going to heal here. He'll also do that if you're immune to any of his attacks. He'll spam the what are they called? Almighty attacks. And sometimes he'll just do them at random. See what he does here. Oh, I missed. That's terrible.
Yukari-chan! That wasn't good.
Just gotta pace ourselves a little bit. Okay, I feel pretty safe to do an attack here. I like the kick at the end of that. Seems kind of strange that he would do that. Do the multi-targeting one, lady.
Yukari-chan!
That was pretty bad.
Yukari-chan is seriously hurt.
I should have covered for that. That was stupid. Now my turn order is not as favorable.
Hang in there.
Well, no, it's the same. Never mind. Oh, that's okay. All right, let's be smart about this. We have the ability to heal everybody to full. Let's do so. Once he gets to about half health, then we got to really start thinking about putting the boot in,
Watch this.
or at least trying to keep everybody up a lot more,
I won't lose.
because that's when he'll start using his instant death attacks.
This thing won't give up.
Okay. Okay, it missed everybody. Wow, that's actually really good. Oh.
Up here.
You got a turn of reprieve there.
Oh, crap. I'll show you my true power. This thing won't give up.
Actually, that's good.
Yukari-chan!
The Megadolon, as you can see, it's a bit stronger. It will kill both Ken and Yukari in one hit, probably. Not the dog, because the dog has 500 fucking hit points. We're getting pretty close. And it seems like the turn order got moved a little bit. Yes. Physical attack. Oh. Damn it. Okay. Bye, dog. All right. We're gonna play it on the safe side here. Now, I didn't actually expect the crit chance strategy to work particularly well. It was just the only real chance I had of doing anything interesting with the personas I had, so while still being alive. He's mostly here as a healer. Just assuming we don't get hit with a Megalodon. Megalodon. Well. Megadola on. I don't know. Oh, come on. You're killing me, Ken. You're killing me. 97% hit rate weapon. Up! Bye.
Oh no, Yukari-chan!
That's a lot of damage. We're gonna have to get lucky here. Probably kill the dog. And then I have to res. Okay, I'm just gonna keep doing that. That's cool. This is why I put him on full assault, just in case something like this happened. Could probably take him out. We're gonna not be as risky. Because if he kills Koromaru, then at least I'll still be alive. He doesn't seem to want to do his light instant death attack for some reason. So, because Koromaru has a boatload of hit points, we're okay here. Notice his defense is kind of shit. He's actually taking more damage than me. So, hey, the dog. Fucking dog, man. And that was a lot of experience and a useless gem that... Well, it's not useless, because it is nice to have that for... Yeah. Only 2 left. And then, with half of our party members dead, we get another level of the Judgment social link. Sorry, guys. No, it's not what I wanted to do. Do I even have a res? I do. But I don't have enough. Okay, he resed her. Good. Ooh, Bombs of Life. I didn't have to use one of those, surprisingly enough. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the entrance and save.